Hey people, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's still the voice of Jirin Effects, and although I did a pre-market session, but this week pre-market session was just for the students, okay? And I've had series of requests. I should do a market update, right? And what I think of the market, and here is it, and I want to quickly do it. All right? Okay, let's get straight into it. We'll start with the USDCHF. All right, and we have the USDCHF actually still within this tight region, which we spoke about last week. Up here, resistance, down here, support. All right, on the monthly scale, we are there around that point, but on weekly scale, last week candle came in so strong here, taking away all these wrongs in the market, and this was bullish. Okay, this was bullish, and you know, the resistance we're looking at a major resistance around the on the monthly scale, looking at major resistance around the 91 area. So we did not come into testing the 91 area, okay, but only we rejected the 0.9167 area, okay, and there is possibility that price could actually spring up one more time into testing this territory, because this candle here is a filling candle, and so far have not shown any failure in a weekly scale. So even though this week candle could actually close as an indecision candle, which I cannot really say, but there's a huge possibility of an exhaustive bullish structure that could come into test the 0.921 area. All right, so that is what we should keep at the back of our mind. On the daily scale, we have continued to see rejections of the 0.909 area here, around this area here, which is also very key. Also, why is this area important to me? And this area is important to me because this area acted as support here. When price dropped from great highs, and this came up as an pyramid structure which could have taken price to the upside, but then showed a bearish exhaustive pattern followed by a bullish setup, rejected this point the next week, came back to the low, came back to rejected this also territory one more time, and could also look to bounce off this area or at the retracement zone to the next impulse to the upside, be it exhaustive or a continuation. All right. On a daily scale, we are currently seeing that price so far have rejected this area here for Monday candle, and we are yet to see a confirmation of a reversal to the upside. Once there is a confirmation to a reversal to the upside, we will be ready to take a long trade to targeting the 0.92 area as our possible target. All right. If this area could actually fail on a daily time frame, we would wait for a retracement to actually continue shorting this pair to the downside inside around the 0.902 area. That would be a very wonderful take profit area. On the H4 scale, we are currently seeing price trying to settle inside of this area, and currently with the aid of this trend line here, we can start to draw a trend line that could actually support price or give us an edge as to what price is currently doing. And we can see that market currently is trading inside of a small channel right from Wednesday last week, which was the high here, to this point, which is the low here. And we could expect price to either still continue or could either break out, retest, and then move to the upside. Either of the two is also a possibility. We do not know. Okay, let's move to the EURUSD. EURUSD, I gave out a short sell signal last week, but I spoke about the 105 area, which was also a very important area as we got this structure. Here, so far we have seen the 105 stay through this structure here, so we will not consider this area as being important in this setup. We will only consider the 105 600 area which was very important area here previously in the market on a weekly scale. We could see how price then came back multiple times, testing, rejecting this structure, and also coming into testing and rejecting this structure. But this current candle cannot, or I don't see a possibility of selling maximally. There could be some congestion inside of this territory at the moment, but I do not know, but I'm only looking for opportunities to short from a very great high to a very low low. All right, so that would be for that. I don't have any potential trade for this Euro USD. Next, we'll go straight into the Euro USD. Euro USD, the last time I spoke about Euro USD was more of a pullback and a drop. Now we are facing a different situation, and we can see that the pullback on a monthly scale here, we are looking at a very key structure inside of this area here around this area of the 1.19300 area, which is also a very important area on a monthly scale. Going down to a weekly time frame, we have continued to see that price have continued to move up, trying to test this area here after rejecting the 1.18 area, moving into approaching the 1.19300 area, which is a very key structure on a weekly time frame and a monthly time frame. What do we then do as traders? We do not have any possible setup for a trade here, and as everything continues to look bouncing up and bouncing down, I will not be in so much of a hurry to take any trade from this alone, because price can either bounce up this high here after this huge or candle showed rejection and then drop to the downside, right, into this area to find liquidity and continue moving up. But so far, if you look at the ATR and also the monthly candle, we will then observe and notice as traders that we are so very far off the month. This was a monthly low. Look at the monthly change, 1.93. We are very far off the month. Okay, so if this was to be continued bullish, I think there should be some sort of correction of some sort before then the next impulse hit, which could take us into the month of December. All right, but definitely I do not expect to see price, break up this area in such a hurry, or this area in this month. If price comes into this area early in the month, I think there will be a pullback again into this territory in December. All right, let's go look at the USD card, what I think of the USD card. Last week, we spoke about the USD card, that we then saw the USD card actually reject a very key structure of the 1.301 area, rejecting twice on a monthly scale. Okay, but currently the current monthly candle have not yet closed. But last week, what did we see here? We see a maximum rejection of this structure here, and definitely price could actually be on its way into coming back to this structure here, because this was a last known high on a weekly scale. So let's mark that high. The 1.332 area is a very good structure for the bulls to actually try, or would try to take price into. All right. So on a weekly scale, we have currently seen a rejection of the 1.301 area. And from where we are, we cannot take a short trade because target is too small, and we cannot really take a long trade because we do not have a potential for a trade. But looking at trading perspective, I think a long would be more safe to take than a short trade if you can have a rejection or a structure on the daily time frame. First, on Monday, Tuesday, Monday dropped, Tuesday came back. All right. So if we could have a rejection of this structure and price would close bullish at this point, I think that would be the best time to open a long trade to target this upside which we spoke about. Only then. All right. So let's go now to the next trade, the GBPUSD. GBPUSD came in such a hurry into testing a very key structure in the market, but couldn't test, neither could it reject, but came around the territory of the 1.33800 area. This is a very good area we've marked up in a very long while, right from here, rejection here, rejection with this candle, rejection with this candle, pierced through, support, broke through, came back, broke through, and everything just went on like that. I expect a drop from this point to the downside, at least, but only when I find a very good reason to do so. I'm going to wait for this current monthly candle to end either as an exhaustive bullish candle, but that is what I would definitely want to do, or an indication of a reversal pattern of some sort. I cannot trade this setup alone. All right. So next we go on the daily time frame. We have continued to see price currently looking at rising and continuing to rise and may still continue to rise. But that we do not know, but we only wait for an opportunity to take that trade which is most convenient for and meeting my expectation. All right, I'm not just going to take random trades because I don't actually do that beginning with that. I know I take random trades or trade that doesn't suit my setup. Okay, next we go to the NZD. NZD USD on a monthly scale, we have currently seen price actually expand of some sort. The 0.675 area for the very strong structure, and this was a very strong hold the market. Currently resistance here, resistance here. Now, if price would come in to test this area here, which we are currently seeing price actually do, and reject this area, we will look at the possible short trade from this point down into this low at the least for our very first step profit. Weekly scale, we have currently not seen a rejection or an embrace of this huge structure here. So we can only wait to see what then happens inside of this territory, because this area of the 0.96300 is a very key structure, and we want to see how price will actually come into testing or rejecting or breaking through that area, or to downside. But what we look to do as traders is to look for those opportunities in the market. We have this huge structure. So far, we have not tested, nor have we rejected those structures or those areas. Then, as traders, we are going to wait for a possibility for either of that to happen. Currently, price is moving closer and closer as the day goes by into the 0.69 territory. We would love to see what will happen inside of that territory, and how we will approach it will be very important. On the H4, we are not yet comfortable with how everything is being set up, and then we will only have no other reason but to avoid the whole trade concerning the NZD USD. Next on my list, I will look at the AUDUSD. AUDUSD currently came into the structure of the 0.70200 area, rejecting this area, which was previous resistance also back in 2018. After this drop, came back, pull back, drop one more time, pull back, drop one more time. And we saw how price came back into testing this territory and acting as support after this was resistance, support, and then we were approaching this key structure. We want to see how well price will then act inside of that area. On a weekly time frame, for last week, we closed at an inversion candle. So either we could have a bullish exhaustive pattern, okay, or a complete evening star pattern, okay. So you're rising up, inversion candle, dropping down. So either of the two scenarios, we want to see one acting fairly in the market. The 0.73 area is a very key structure as well, and we want to see how price will fare inside of that area only on a weekly scale. For a daily time frame, we have currently seen price breaking through this structure on a daily time frame. But if price will continue rising, I think we will look at this as a possibility of a bullish exhaustive candle rather than a continuation to the upside, because the current monthly candle have so far moved 3.8%, and currently today is the 18th day of November, and we cannot still continue going up, because looking at the ATR for this space, the ATR for NZDUSD on a monthly scale is 312 pips. So far, we have exceeded that ATR, so we cannot really look to still continue further going long. At the moment, we are around the 358 ATR on a monthly scale. even though this has a potential or a possibility looking like a breakout of a downward trend, but here a retest is also a great possibility before the next continuation to the upside. This retest will be very important, and we would love to see how price will then act around the retest. Okay, next on my list, I will speak about the EURCAD. EURCAD setup was given as a pending order last week, and it was said to be valid for only last week. So we were triggered last week, and that is the reason why we are going to see off this trade into those areas. One of the reasons we will look to take our take profit instead of the 1.544 area would be because we had a rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, and price could actually be on its way to the upside, breaking above. But first, we will see how this coming weekly candle will end, but I think price should at least come into testing and rejecting this zone. If we could have a break above this current structure, I will personally not be very angry with my setup, but rather I will look at a rejection of this environment here, which send price to the upside. All right. So I will kindly take this off for now because we have not yet concluded that setup. So next I'm gonna do, just take this off one more time. All right. So the 1.557 area is a very cool resistance structure there, as you can see. All right. So this, we have a double tap for a resistance, and so if this could fail on a daily scale to continue to the upside and drop one more time, I think this would send price into our take profit 1 area, which we would love to see, and also look at the possibility of a take profit 2 after this current weekly candle can close. All right, so next on my list will be the GBPJPY. GBPJPY, everything looks bullish for this space, and I would want to only take a bullish setup trade on this space alone. Bullish, bullish. But looking at the monthly ATR, we are so far very off the balance. We have moved 1.86 ATR on a monthly scale or change. And looking at the current daily candle, let me speak a little bit about all this setup. Whenever you see bulls try to get in, bulls get in here, got in one more time here but failed, definitely bears are going to take this price at least dropping down into the 127 Fibonacci extension of this swing to the downside. I don't know if you found such a setup like this in the market before. This was also a similar scenario. Both got in one, got in twice, failed, got in third day, failed, and price then dropped one more time, taking out all this drama in the market and closed here, and then continued to the downside. Now, before a cool reversal then came up and you see price then moved up. Now, this could also be a similar scenario because I have seen series of this setup many of the times in the market. Bulls 1, bulls 2, bulls twice, this fell. I think this will be a fair rally, taking out the 127 Fibonacci extension as our take profit 1 and also the 161.8 Fibonacci section as our take profit 2. All right, so where will be our perfect entry? Our entry for a trade, we will look at, first we saw a rejection of the 138.37 area, and currently we are still seeing a rejection of the 138.300 area. We are trading what looks like a contractive structure. So what I would do as a trader would be to take a very nice trade. I will wait for a push-up. At least my risk would be above this candle, and I would target the 127 Fibonacci extension of this swing, which is the swing from this swing low to this swing high. The 127 Fibonacci extension would be around the 137, 200 or 220 area. That will be a very nice take profit area. and looking at it from a trade perspective or a risk to reward angle, risking from here on up here 78 pips and target 93 pips. That is more of 1:1 risk to reward trade. I don't know what this trade would mean to you as a trader or an individual, or how you intend to approach this. All right. But whatever the situation may be, I think this price should drop one more time to the downside. And however the candle will look like would be very important in our next decision. Got in here on a buy trade, another failure here. I got in a break even here, and that was awesome. All right. With that, we move next to the GBPNZD structures or GBPNZD correlated page. One of the areas which I'm looking for, rejection, we could do rejection or a bearish exhaustive candle for the next one to continue bullish. I would also look at the possibility. Weekly time frame, price is moving down. So we look at a bearish exhaustive candle rather than a reversal. What we'll do as traders, we'll wait for a pullback within the month for another drop. Okay, so what do we see? Daily scale, we have price looking bullish here after this candle here, but this was a key structure here. This was also a key structure here. So we'll look at these two areas. Which one would be most important for price? On H4, we have seen that price continues to look bullish, and this could also continue into looking for a possibility of further testing this territory one more time. There's a huge possibility of that happening or price coming to bounce off here. So either of these territories, price should either bounce off, or technically price could either still further bounce off either of the Fibonacci extension of this swing, 61.8, 78.6, or even this territory for the next drop back into here. It is all a choice of what you find in the market and how you intend to approach it, depending on your own setup. And personally, I will enter this trade based on my own setup. With this alone, this is huge. I expect an exhaustive pattern which could actually move up very fast, testing this structure and dropping one more time, consolidating, and that could actually be very tricky. All right. With that, we will wrap up this market update, because this was all the pays which we analyzed and during our pre-market session, and I'm happy I have been able to touch most of those pays, also explaining how I wish to approach this setup. Have a very wonderful trading day, and at this point I would say good night.